Welcome to another calisthenics video. Today my closest bar park being Millfields, accompanied by Lionel, getting some reps in. This big bend you're about to see is just to hide the identity of the personal trainer and his client who are at the park on the day. I do need to learn how to blur faces. That would be a cool way to censor people's identity, but until then, just have a look at Big Ben. Nice sight. But yeah, started and went for some endurance reps on this specific day. So 25 pull-ups. Really trying to focus on the form of my pull-ups. So really focusing on fully extending the arms and getting the chin above the bar. Those last few were kind of scrappy, to be honest. From there, we go into the push motion of 25 push-ups. My right wrist has been giving me issues since the end of June, to be honest. So like quite a, well, I call it a midterm injury, but it is getting better. So yesterday, training with a friend, I felt, well, I was able to do things that I haven't done in some time. So like press ups with my hands flat, muscle ups without feeling too much pain. So yeah, it will, well, I'm hoping it's towards the end of the pain and I can get back to practicing things like handstands. That would be good. So I haven't done handstand practice in quite some time now. Before I went to Thailand, so we're talking, yeah, late June was the last time I practiced handstands. We then went into Australian pulls or inverted rows, and you see me here breaking it up. I do trim and chop these videos up because otherwise they'd be 15 minutes if I included my waiting time, but I do have videos out there without any editing being done, just literally clips merged together. There's Lionel, and he's doing the same thing as me. He is just doing it with different reps. He normally trains with a weighted vest, but yeah, he's one of the most improved in terms of the people who I train with around me. He's very consistent, so yeah, keep it up, Lionel. And then we've got some dips. Now I do not like the dip bars here because the left dip bar is higher than the right dip bar, and not like fractionally, like evidently, which they need to sort out. I don't know if you can write to Kenguru or if you write to Millfields, the council, but it's definitely not good for that shoulder that's doing more work than the other, causing an imbalance. And then I've got some walking lunges in. Normally I do this with a weighted vest, and there you saw I need to engage my core more, stay upright. Normally I do this with a weighted vest, but we had no additional weight today, so we're going to work with what we have at the present moment. And I normally count 18 lunges, or just until you get to this step. But again, when I get to that step, it's normally 18 lunges, which is fine by me. I do need to focus more on strengthening my legs, running a lot more, wanting to run a lot more also, and I do not want to have a weak lower body. So yeah, that's something I've been working on in the gym and outdoors. Second round, just switching the grip from a pull-up to a chin-up and going for 20 reps instead of 25. This was a grind, but in my head I go into these sessions knowing, okay, you've done this before, so you may not feel 100%, but you have done it before. And I think this week, in terms of training, I've had a really good week. I was able to go into the gym and do a lower body session with Larry. I was able to get this Millfields session in because I haven't done a Thursday morning session in a few weeks, and I was able to really push myself at the session the day after this at Finsbury with Andrew. So had a good week of training this week. Do need to give myself a full rest day next week, but that's besides the point. And then repeating the round, and obviously everything's just reduced by 5 reps. So my press ups here, instead of being 25 like they were in round 1, are now 20 reps. Good news is I will be able to do some live voiceovers for the next calisthenics video, or it might be the calisthenics video after next. And I've also restarted the 5k perspectives for those of you who follow my channel and are interested in running content and hearing about other people's running journeys. That is something I paused, well, I say paused, I just stopped doing. I just started lacking with content and was really focusing in calisthenics, but I'm going to get the ball rolling again with the 5k perspectives. And there's so many people around me who run that that's not a hard series. It's just literally meeting up with a person, giving them the GoPro, letting them run with it, and then getting them to do a voiceover or a live voiceover of how they got into running and what running does for them. So I am looking forward to diversifying the content on this page. It doesn't have to just be calisthenics, just because that's my favorite type of movement. Some people know me from running, some people know me from calisthenics. So yeah, I will be diversifying the videos that I upload, so you can rest assured that I will try. Well, I say try. I believe from September I can give you guys 2 videos a week, and I'm gonna push for that because I've definitely got the sessions in me. It's just how many times do I travel with my tripod, or how many times do I travel with my GoPro. Okay, so here's the walking lunges, and as the rounds went on, I did try and increase the speed of these walking lunges and try to stay low, especially towards the end. Round 3, again, you've got Big Ben and you've got me going for 20 pulls here. So again, really focusing on that form. And for those of you that have been watching my calisthenics videos for some time, you'll realize from here on, I'm no longer going to wear gloves. Obviously, you do pay for it. What I've been realizing is my callus is a complete different ballgame to what it used to be. But we've done a challenge recently where we went to this is probably going to sound so funny to you because I'm plant-based, but we went to a chicken shop. It's called Chicken Kitchen, and the challenge was how many pull-ups can you perform. If you did 10 pull-ups, you got a free drink. If you did 20 pull-ups, you got a free meal. If you did 30 pull-ups, you got a free meal for the week. So I went there with a few friends, and you couldn't wear gloves, and the bar was thicker than the usual bar that we use at Calisthenics Park. I really struggled to re-grip the bar, but you weren't allowed gloves, so it was like I need to be in a scenario like a lot of my friends who don't wear gloves, where there's no other outside factors like gloves, like wrist wraps, as long as you're not injured, that can really deter your session or deter your progress. So I'm gonna train without gloves, and I'm a pro advocate for the B&Q £2.50 sight gloves that I've been using for quite some time, but I'm going to continue now training without them. That's going to improve my grip strength. But yeah, back to the video. This is round 3, not ending on dips, but finishing some dips up and then going into the walking lunges again. There you go. You can see a slight change in the speed of the lunge. There was a low branch, so I had to avoid that. You probably can't see it from there. But yeah, there was a low branch. Lionel just about to go and start his dips. He's walking over. And then after this, we enter the final round of the session. Here we're entering the final round of the session, and we are going for 10 chin-ups. You can't see my lower body here, but I just wanted to focus on keeping a nice rhythm on each repetition. But you get the gist. 10 reps on each. I will leave you to watch the last few bits of the session. I hope you've enjoyed this. Full workout will be in the description, and I will upload another calisthenics session and hopefully a new 5K perspective episode next week. Hope you enjoy. Take care.
That's all, folks.